Do we leave a laugh while you're doing it?
Leave a laugh?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Go on.
There's an interesting one in the city of Bethlehem by an Irish artist who makes art out of things you wouldn't think of.
This is my dad, Noel Molloy, performance artist and sculptor. Over my life I have loved witnessing, being involved and influenced by my dad's work. I went home to my parents' studio in Roscommon to watch him prepare a performance for that night. I also wanted to ask him and my mum, Dympna Molloy, also an artist, of their memories of past work.
Yeah, I'm just putting together the final touches on the performance for tonight. Performance is titled Stephen, This Is Not a Portrait Even, and it's like a mini retrospective. It's taken in performances I have done over the last number of years and that sort of thing. Okay. So it's like a review of what I have done, you know, and it's not like I'm dictating anything, or I'm not telling anybody they should think such a way and whatever. Yeah. I'm posing questions, and that's where I'm coming from when I do my performances. I might say something, I might do something that might irritate people, that might, you know, frighten people.
Yeah, you've even had some people try and attack you sometimes.
Exactly, and that's the reaction, and I like that, in a sense I like that reaction, as long as I don't get stabbed or killed or whatever, you know, or hurt in that sense. But usually, it's a good reaction in that you know that the message is making some impact. Yeah. But as I said, I could say something, and it wouldn't be me saying it. It would be the performer saying it. So I wouldn't be dictating how. I'd be just posing, putting that question out there. Yeah. So you can walk away from, hopefully walk away from the performance and think, what was that about? You know, and question your own beliefs or question your own attitude towards whatever. Yeah. But it wouldn't be me. Yeah. Because I'm not me when I perform. You know, I take on, for the want of a better word, I take on a character. I'm just a vehicle in the sense of posing that question.
My parents' studio is also where they create and exhibit their artwork. I wanted to talk to my dad about his style of art, which involves creating sculptures from found objects.
This is my filing cabinet, believe it or not. I know what's there. Yeah. So if I'm doing a piece of work, I know what I have. If I haven't got it, I'll go and search for it. That's when I'm doing the found object work.
Yeah, I remember you used to go on walks when you were younger and you'd come back with
I used to go to the dumps and go to skips. People would bring stuff to me as well. Yeah. So there was always something there. So I knew if I needed something, it was to hand. So it's like a bit of a magpie in that sense, that I collect anything and everything.
You usually use a welder.
Yeah, it's all welded, and you know, I use what, you know, nuts and bolts, or even if it need be, you know, tie it up with wire and that sort of thing. You know, I'm not worried about anything being too permanent, you know, because everything has a life.
That place was used for so many things.
Yeah.
During, like, the most recent one during the summer was the Casablanca party that you created.
Yeah, well, the last thing was the Casablanca thing, and the thing about doing the Casablanca, it's fun. So we all dressed up as characters from the film and that sort of thing, and of course Casablanca is my favourite film. So so we had a great night, you know, we fixed the shower up and created a Casablanca in itself. Yeah. And of course Rick's, I made up the Rick sign, or Christmas lights, and that was outside and all that. So.
And everybody sang, what's the song? As Time Goes By.
Yeah, we had a bit of a sing song, and As Time Goes By.
All together. It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die.
well, the last Supper barbecue happened, was it
Yeah,
2 years ago?
The idea was to recreate the Last Supper, Da Vinci's Last Supper.
Yeah.
So a lot of our friends who are of my age and that sort of thing, who looked at characters, and it was Cyrilla actually that chose the various people to suit the various characters in the supper.
Yeah.
And it worked very well in that they got into character and that sort of thing, and it was good fun.
Yeah, I was Judas, so...
You were Judas,
I like
of course,
getting into character for that.
and I was himself.
One of my fondest memories of my dad's work was the Crossroads Symposium in 1995. Here my dad brought artists from all over the world to Roscommon to exhibit and perform.
This is the poster from the Crossroads Symposium, you see, 95. So I had met all these people, and in total there was 18 of us, and we had a few openings, and sites were used throughout the town, and installations, performances, that sort of thing.
Your performance where you walked around Roscommon town with the white mask?
Yeah, it was called A Snail, and the idea was, in a sense, was like introducing the town to the people. I used the Paul Durkin poem, The Snail, to cover all of that. Things work and things don't work. I don't know if that worked too well. I think it went on too long. It was too late in the evening. It was too hot, that sort of thing. But it was good fun.
It was.
You remember fun.
I remember the reaction of the people who were from Roscommon town who didn't have a clue what was going on.
Yeah, we were going throughout the town, and it's like nobody was told about this. So could have been arrested. You know, sort of attitude. You know, but you know, you would never infringe on anybody's privacy or whatever. But people were, what's happening here? Like the protest.
Protest.
And here's the remnants of...
I remember this well.
The remnants of supermarket on the roundabout, Say No. And the idea was, it was done by Mike Cummings from Cardiff. And he took this idea, you know, there was a roundabout at the library, and set up that there was this frog called the Roscommon Blushing Frog, just out of the top of his head. And that they were building a supermarket on the roundabout. And actually, days afterwards, there was people coming, who's building the supermarket on the roundabout? Even the guy who had the shop close to the roundabout was out worried
that he'd be losing business.
He'd be competition. So it was very funny. So we walked through, we paraded around the roundabout, saying no to the supermarket and save the Roscommon Blushing Frog. It was great fun altogether. And then we walked through the town, and people were coming out of the shops and whatever, what's happening here, what's the protest about, and all that sort of thing. So it's like, again, you know, invoking people's idea of community and what's happening and that sort of thing.
My mum was in the kitchen preparing food for the guests that would be attending the performance later. I went to talk to her about how she met Dad and what she thought about the upcoming performance.
Yeah. And, well, 28 years now, so you met Dad back in art college?
In 1982.
In 82?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were studying sculpture in Limerick, and I was president of the Students' Union down there at the time, and Noel had an awful bad moment with one of the kids that was just after going into first year, and they hadn't an idea of safety or anything, and so Noel went mad and demanded that there was a safety meeting or some kind of a meeting for all the kids in the college to get them to know how to use the equipment properly. So that evening he came over and he thanked me for organising the meeting, and from then on I'm a sculptor, and I've always kind of wanted to work in stone. I love natural materials, so of course it's expensive to buy stone to be able to carve into stone, so I started using slate, and it's quite easy to manipulate slate, and I thread it like jewellery. So the natural materials, as I said, are very important, so feathers and horsehair and flax and grass and stones and soil, it's all important.
So what do you think about tonight, Mum? You looking forward to it?
Yes, I am, yeah. It's it's a great opportunity for people to come out and see the work that's here. And you know, when we came here first 10 years ago, we had that idea that we'd have a working studio, that maybe a gallery that people could come and see the work and do things like that, you know.
Gotta give it a try.
I'm going to do performance, and the name of the performance is called Stephen This Is Not a Culture Either. So it's like a mini retrospective of performances I've done before, plus some added stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear off, and I'm going to get ready, and I'm going to start outside. Okay, I've set up a few things outside, so back up my invite.
Go down in the woods today, you're sure.
I've been in your eyes, some kind of fool.
I'm running up here.
Close my eyes and make it go away.
Of the last statement of James Connolly, I quote, held at Dublin Castle, May 9th, 1916. The Irish Republic!
I've got some real estate here in my bag. Counting the cars on the New Jersey Turnpike, they've all come to look for America. All come to look for America. Don't give me
Dad, what goes through your head right after you do a performance?
I feel wrecked. It's physically very demanding, and I feel tired. But I feel there's a great sense of elation of having done, I've gotten through, that things have worked out. But you know, sometimes I've done performances and I just had to go to bed afterwards. I had to lie down or go away somewhere. Go away on my own for a couple of hours and not have anything to do and not even think about art. They might say whatever.
Making a film about my dad is something I've always wanted to do. I feel I have achieved an insight for others to see his work.